Well, we want to turn to breaking news right now playing out in Ukraine. It is just after 6 a.m. there, just before daybreak, and Russia's President Vladimir Putin has unleashed war on this country. A full-scale invasion of Ukraine heading into its second day. More explosions heard in Kyiv, the capital city there, in the past few hours. Now, this is the largest war in Europe since the end of World War II. And what happens there impacts all of us here. For more than 24 hours now, we've seen missiles raining down on several cities. Russian forces are targeting Ukraine's military infrastructure and highly populated areas. The United States is responding. President Biden has announced what he calls unprecedented sanctions against Russia. They block assets of 4 large Russian banks, impose export controls, and sanction oligarchs. And on top of this, more U.S. forces will head to Europe. Now, a lot of people who live in Ukraine are trying to escape right now. Look at this. Ukraine's president just announced 137 people have died and more than 300 are injured. The attack has sparked protests around the world, even in Russia. This picture you're looking at here shows thousands of Russians standing up against their government in Moscow. That is brave of them there. We saw similar demonstrations across the U.S. this evening, including right here in D.C. Some of our neighbors, they call Ukraine home. I can't even imagine what they're going through right now. They are fearful for their loved ones and watching this all happen from thousands of miles away. Some of them spoke with our Matthew Torres. He joins us live from the White House tonight with some of their stories. Hey, Matthew.
Hey, Lorenzo, we heard those heartbreaking stories from people outside of the White House this afternoon during a rally. They're demanding for President Joe Biden to impose the harshest sanctions against Russia. Tonight, Ukrainians in the DMV are scared, they're frustrated, and they're confused.
At a time when the U.S. stands ready to fight, there are those brought to their knees. Inside this Ukrainian Catholic church in D.C., prayers for Ukraine's protection against attacks from Russia is their call to action. As they bow their heads in prayer.
Support Ukraine now!
Outside the White House,
Stop the war in Ukraine!
many lift up their heads in anger.
Maybe evil to say, maybe it's not religious, but I want to kill that person and everybody who wish my people and my family to die.
Dozens, including Alexander Yashan, standing in solidarity for Ukraine while calling President Vladimir Putin a killer for invading their country. They demand the U.S. to impose the strictest of sanctions.
Families back in Ukraine. And they did not believe that this is gonna happen.
She's unable to sleep as family back home is crippled with fear.
People are dying, regular people like me, like my mom, like my family. And everybody is very scared, you know. They ask us to call them every hour in case they'll fall asleep and they won't hear anything, you know.
Never know, maybe.
It's the same feeling for this Virginia resident.
Maybe I'll see them last time.
His brother is waking up to explosions near Kiev.
He sent me a text that the war is started.
From thousands of miles away, concerns are only magnifying.
Support Ukraine now!
Where from the loudest to softest of demonstrations, Ukrainians here are crying blue and yellow.
Now, that church, the Ukrainian Catholic National Shrine, will be hosting another prayer service tomorrow night and on Saturday morning. There was another protest this morning outside of the Russian embassy where police arrested one person for graffiti in red paint, which has since been erased. That graffiti read, "Murderer." Reporting live outside the White House tonight, I'm Matthew Torres, WUSA 9.